Hey, hi, hello, this is Alicia. Welcome back to I Love Vampire Novels, and we are reading week 2 of Arcana Academy. So this is where we leave off, like chapter 31. So like we're starting 31 next week. But oh my goodness, I wish I could just keep reading this and not have to work today, but I have to work today. Anyways, let's get into the vloggy bits because we got a lot to talk about. My hair is crazy. Learning that, of course, Clara is special. Kayla's telling her that she is one of the 20 main Arcana reborn, and that they're all reborn. It's just passed randomly from person to person. When one dies, someone else gets it. Finding this pretty interesting. Finding how much he hates giving her the compliment even more interesting, and then laughing when he's like, well, if you don't doubt yourself, follow me. And she waits, and she's like, should I? And then runs into his chest and he laughs. I'm like, this is a very strange dichotomy going on between them. Like, he acts like he hates her. She definitely hates him. But does he hate her? And what she thinks he set her up for, I have a feeling Dad and Brother, the king and the king apparent or whatever, the heir, are the ones who set her up for it, and he just punished her because that's his job. So, yeah, okay. Thoughts. I'm only another chapter in, so those are thoughts. And I'm going to continue reading and finish drinking my matcha. There's so little left. I drank it so fast. But I love it. So, okay. Secret Society in full force here. She's one of the major arcana. The Wheel of Fortune, which totally makes sense because luck is on her side. That's been repeated a few times. I'm glad to know that we have so soon that she's special, although she's not as special as she thought. I think she's still kind of more special than some of the others, but because she's the focus. So I can't wait for her to put as on his ass when that comes, because it will come. But her trying to figure out what to draw, not being able to find how to make the card that is hers, the Wheel of Fortune, and being left to herself, I'm gonna get out of here. And I totally get that vibe and why she wants to, I want to get out of this place. I don't want to give my power over to anybody else, especially not Kayla's. Now, I think it's going to be a good thing to give him more power or join their power. I wonder what makes him special than birth. There's got to be something else about him, right, that makes it work with the two of them together to make them more powerful, because they're going to have to battle all sorts of things. I know there's some political intrigue that they're going to have to battle in this, but I really love, she's like, why am I struggling like this? For him, I'm getting out of here. If my sister could do it, I could do it too. I'm down for the vibes. I learned more about the other characters there. So the two people who sat around her are also major arcana. Arcana, I think Arcana. I don't really know how to pronounce things. I read, I don't speak them. They're in my head. I don't know how to pronounce most things. But anyways, I'm down for where this is going. Only 2 chapters in, and still into this section. I'm on chapter 20. I'm pretty darn excited to see how this plays out, especially since this is a series and it's only going to get more crazy as it goes on. I'm already a brisk pace of answering a lot of those questions and predictions that I had. So last time this happened, I was pleasantly surprised by the outcome, and I hope I am again. Let's get it, Miss Kova. So they're getting tense with each other. I like the little inklings of attraction and him cornering her and being he had to give up his future, all 3 cards at one go, be in service to his dad, and they're going to steal the cards from his dad. I'm excited for this. I feel like that's going to be the end of this book, is their first attempt at that, if they can manage it. I have weird feelings about her sister being gone, and honestly, the star-crossed group people I also have interesting feelings about. Did not get good vibes completely from them. I feel like they're going to be future adversaries because she's going to fall in love with the prince. You know what I mean? And fuck that teacher who's don't use your hands and all the pomp and circumstance. I hate that kind of shit, but I get why it's in here. But the character, our main character Clara, I hate that shit. And I'd be mouthier. I'd be so much mouthier. But I get it. I get it. I like it. Oh my god. Tension. Ooh, y'all, that kiss was spicy. And Liam was a great, like, throw in there because, I mean, it was a good obstacle to get through, to get thrown at her, and the response was great, and I love the awkwardness because, you know, they both felt it, so... And now she's avoiding, and I love Lauren. I love Lauren so much. She's so cute. She's so cute. Okay, I'm excited to get back to this, so... Professor V. I do not know how to pronounce his name, so that's what he's going to be for me. Professor V. I feel like he knows way more than he's giving away. Like she said, he's always at Kayla's side, and he keeps calling her Luck, so I'm guessing Kayla says, you know, someone to divulge it. Divulge it? I don't know. Divulge to? The word for this is not coming to me, but confide in. There we go. He has someone to confide in. I think that's who Professor V is. And I did like Clara's interaction with Ezza again, and it's Alora, her roommate. Is that how you say her name? Alora. I did like that interaction. Making enemies. It's reading people. She's reading people. She's testing people. And I like it. I like it a lot. She's sassy. I like it. Reading class in her upside down prince card, and the king card, and the predictions, and what is going to happen on All Coins Day. So, yes, I'm excited about this chapter, even though not a lot happened. We learned a lot, like reverse cards means that the magic is gone wonky, and it becomes volatile, and the only right way to read cards is upright because, you know, they don't exist in readings. And it was just a really interesting conversation about how tarot cards are read in reality versus how she's creating a mythos and a lore and a power behind those things. So she's like created this whole world for it, and it's coming out great. Like, I'm understanding all of it, and I'm really excited about it. So I think I only have 20 more pages to read. I'm really into this book. I'm sure between now and then I'll come back again, but we're getting close to my end analysis for this week. Oh my goodness, I like this book. Essa is such a piece of shit. Oh my god. Good on her for beating the shit out of him, because she probably would have killed him if the prince hadn't pulled her off. And him immediately going, she started it. Like, he knows. He fucking knows you. You don't think that he doesn't pay attention? It reminds me of when my students used to didn't think I could see the things going on or understand why things didn't happen the way they did or why they're behaving a certain way, because I did, because I've seen it for 8 fucking years. I watched people do the same thing over and over and over again, and then show them, I know what's going on, just do this. And they were like, we know. We watch y'all a lot more than you think we do. Okay, sorry. I think I got one more chapter. One more chapter. The tension. I'm glad that we got to see that he's actually, as I predicted, a good guy. Or at least loyal and understands the right versus wrong and those kinds of things. Like, he's our good guy, even though he's the Dark Prince. And that, of course, he didn't have anything to do with Clara getting taken to prison. I cannot pronounce the word, but how she ran off when he mentioned her mother. I'm excited. I like the push and the pull between them a whole lot, because, you know, enemies to lovers needs that. And we're only like halfway through the book now, so like feelings are starting to bloom. They're starting to be more real as they get to know each other, and I'm excited about that. So I'm gonna go collect my thoughts, write my blog post, and come back here and talk to you probably in more detail than is gonna be on my blog, but it helps me organize my thoughts, so I'm gonna do that. And honestly, if I didn't have other things to do today, I would keep reading. I'd probably finish the book today if I didn't have other things to do. But I do. I have other things to do. So, this is going to have to wait till next week. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so we're back to talk about this magnificent beast in all of its chunkiness. But first I wanted to give you a quick preview of like how messed up my office is. This is so much better. I have been packing the Bite Me boxes. I just shipped out how many did I ship out? 50, I think, in the last 2 days. And I will be finishing up packing tonight, videoing that, and then sending those out tomorrow, and that will be done. Check, 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 check. By the way, I have some of the stones that we got for the crystal scoops. And y'all, these guys are absolutely beautiful. And I really love this one as well. Like, look at the color combo of that. And then green is just like, it's beautiful. And we also have, I've been taking out of the wrapping, these moons, and we still have a couple left. I think we have maybe 10 boxes left. So if you want the September Velux box, which is our deluxe box, it comes with 3 books. They're all paperbacks. It comes with a crystal scoop, a crystal holder, a sweet treat, which are super yummy. I picked them because they're my favorite, and self-care item. And we also have enamel pins, which are super cute. I just love the little guy reading in bed. Oh my goodness, and a kitty, and some coffee, which you shouldn't be drinking coffee at night, but you know that, unless you're gonna stay up all night, because that's what that's for, is to stay up all night. But anyways, those are still live, and we are launching our new box. So our October box is going on sale tonight. Yay! So look out for the launch emails and the launch posts and the reveal of what book we're going to be reading, not next month, because next month will be A Land So Wide, but the month after that is going to be our October box. It's usually a month delayed. This was our August box. We're reading it in September. You get the gist. Anyways, I've been babbling on for far too long, not about this damn book. So let's talk about this damn book, because I seriously just want to finish reading it today instead of doing my work. Okay. Gotta start where we always start. Section 2, we're gonna talk about the romance. So, Kalis and Clara. Oh my goodness. Like, y'all, these two are adorable. They are the perfect, like, enemies to lovers. There's that attraction that is, like, bubbling up and blooming between them. Seeing him shirtless and him seeing her in very little before they go to the party. Super good. The party. Oh, and the kiss at the party. I know it was for Liam's benefit. Like, I totally get that. However, I don't think they would have been as into it if they weren't as into each other. You know what I mean? The steam was steaming. Like, it was steamy. So I'm looking forward to more of that before we get to the end of the book. Also, these, like, the slow build between them of her not trusting him and him trying to, like, build the trust, and he keeps being honest with her and she keeps running from him, which is so adorable. But him finally revealing that he was not the one who plotted against her, it was his brother. You know, he's the one who's in charge of the guard and all those other people, the police, the city. Kalis is not in charge of that stuff. He's in charge of the Arcanists, and that's pretty much it. And he's probably lucky that he's got that, because he's the Spare, as he calls himself. And probably also because he can use magic really well. We'll talk about that in a second, because there's some tarot card stuff that was pretty interesting in here. But when she beats the shit out of Ezza, again, something we'll talk about in a second, and he carries her up to his room and he cleans her off, and they have these intimate moments where, like, sometimes she can't look at him and sometimes he can't look at her, and he reveals that he's always been trying to save her. Like, he knew as soon as he found out who she was, which granted has its own caveat with it, but as soon as he knew who she was, like, he was trying to get her out of there pretty consistently, and that just, like, opens herself up to him. And of course she mentions something about her mom, and he mentions it casually, thinking it's no big deal. People talk about their parents. She completely clams up and runs away, and, like, he calls her name, she doesn't come back. I left there. That's where we left off, and I cannot wait for them to come back together. So, progress in the romance. I hope they sleep together by the end of this book, but we'll see if that actually happens. It really depends on the series, on how that's gonna go. But they're, like, playing the perfect enemies to lovers balance right now. But let's talk about Ezza, because he attacks her again and he keeps threatening to say shit about her and who she is, because he knows who she is. We come to find that he is the guard that's kept her, the warden dude, his son, his his bastard son. I can't say illegitimate. There we go. And it's just like a kissing detail. Like, yes. Oh, such a good detail to put in there, because it makes his hatred for her more real. Because not only does he hate her, but he hates the prince. He hates what the prince did to the warden. And there's nothing he can fucking do about it, which makes him hate her more. Makes him hate them both more. And he can attack her, but he can't attack the prince. You know, there's just layers. There's layers. And it's working really well. I'm very excited about this book. if you could not tell. But I love the fact that their fight ended with she goaded him into not using his hangman card to begin with, and she's just like pummeling the shit out of him, and probably would have beat him to death because that's the kind of girly she is if the prince hadn't pulled her off. And then he immediately becomes a stupid fucking child. Then she started it. Like, he's gonna fucking believe you. Come on. And I mentioned that in my vloggy bits because as a teacher, like, I can usually tell when somebody's full of bullshit. Like, I've had enough practice to know when somebody's full of bullshit. And he's royal. Of course he thinks you're full of shit. Anyways, I just love that scene. I love that she found her card as well. I thought that was done really well. Liam in that fucking party. Oh my goodness. I feel like this created such complexity for Clara because yes, obviously she burned her future. She knows they can't be together, but that doesn't stop the feelings. And of course, the heir to the throne knows that, and so shoves him right in her face, and she runs away. Totally get it. Totally don't want to reveal secrets, but totally can't stand there and keep them secret at the same time. And that, of course, leads to the kissing scene because Liam comes up to talk to her and yada yada. I am so glad that she didn't make Liam come to find her on his own when she was by herself and the king and the prince wasn't there, because that would have made this completely different, and we probably would have been rooting for Liam instead. Like, we need to keep rooting for Kalis because he's the one for her. She chose him when she gave away that future. That's just like how it's gotta work. And I love how that also links to the tarot card reading that she does. She's not good at reading, but when she flips over her cards, they're the clearest fucking day. She's going to be between the prince and the king at the upcoming Ace of Cups, or the 10 Cups, the festival that's coming up. Count coins, cups, something. It's a festival that's coming up, and she's gonna be stuck between them. And I like the idea that she's like, well, it's predictive, and you can be better prepared for it if you know what the future is. So that's what her teacher tells her. And I like how the teacher got to give us a little bit more lore about the tarot card, because when you read in our reality, right, you read cards and they can be reversed, they have different meanings, but in there they don't. They are, the card is the card, and the card is the card is the card is the card. Like, you cannot use intuition or change it. The reverse doesn't mean anything different. The card means what the card means, and you should write it. You should make it upright instead of reverse, because that's the only way it should be read. And when reverse happens in magic, and magic only, it's usually destructive, it's volatile. And that's how the prince destroyed the clan hermit. So there's some really interesting layers, and she gives it to us really well in that classroom setting. And also Professor V, I cannot pronounce his name, but I am rooting for him as an ally. Like, of all of the people that she's come in contact with, other than the prince, he's the one that I truly believe is an ally. Everybody else is suspect. Lauren, I don't have too many predictions about her turning on Clara at all, but literally everybody else is a suspect. Silas, somebody she meets that randomly knows a lot about her sister, and she just trusts him because her sister trusted him. Like, I get the intuition to want to do that. However, she gives us that notion that he might not be trusted, that he looks like the person who was working for the other prince, the heir, and that's stuck in my craw, guys. Like, suspect everybody. So, like, I'm waiting for him for that shoe to drop, because she kind of dismisses it really quickly, right? She's like, oh, am I looking for enemies in places where I shouldn't? Yes, you should look at everybody as an enemy, except for the prince, because and she's, of course, he's the one that she looks like the most enemy for. But, you know, that's the nature of me being the reader and the character not knowing this is a book. Like, you know what I mean? But, like, I can see it. Okay, getting too excited. I also am not sure about her old group. Like, I get that they missed her, but I have a sinking feeling about them and her reaction to her being in the academy and what her mother wants versus the reality of the situation. Of course, she doesn't tell them what's going on, which also gives me an inkling that these guys might be her enemy in the near future, based on what she has to do. Do I think they will stay enemies? No. I'm hoping that by the end of it, like, everybody comes together, yada yada. But I do believe they are going to be an obstacle, not in this book necessarily, but in a future book, because this is a series. Like, that is my prediction, is that she's not going to be able to maintain both sides, and that's going to make, because she's got to choose the prince in order to get what she really needs done, they're going to lose faith in her, because they don't trust her enough to trust her judgment because of what they've always been told and always believed about the prince, yada yada. So, that is my cat. Oh, God. The last thing I want to mention, really, because, I mean, I've been talking really fast, really long time, about the things that I've enjoyed in my predictions and whatnot, is the fact that Kalis as the spare, as the second son, and him having to give up his future into the cards, I want to know what he gave up. I so much want to know what he gave up, because I feel like that's going to tell us a lot about him and the choices that he makes. I don't know if we're going to learn that in this book, but like, it's set up. I want to know what he's going to give up, or what he gave up. I also want to know what she's going to give up. I'm pretty sure that's going to be book 2, right? They have like 3 years in the school, 3 or 4 years in the school, so I feel like a book per year is probably what's going to be happening here. But yeah, I am so curious about these two, and I cannot wait for them to get together. I cannot wait for whoever to show like how backstabby they're going to be. Like, I want people to start revealing their real selves. Revealing. I'm in a mood today, but yes, just yes. I cannot wait till next week when I get to keep reading this, because, you know, it's my job to read this book, and it makes me super happy. So yeah, we ended chapter 31. That's where we're going to start next time, and we are going to finish at the start of chapter 45. So it will be our 3/4 mark. Guys, the book's beautiful. The writing is really good. I don't have many qualms about the writing. I do think some of the descriptions are a lot, but that's, again, I'm not a description kind of person, but the dialogue and the action are really keeping me. The internals and the struggles are really keeping me. The storylines that she's got in here, Miss Kova, is keeping me entertained. I'm really hoping this is gonna be a 5-star read for me, which will be one of my favorites. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Am I being too harsh? Should we trust anybody? If I'm going to trust anyone, it's Professor V and Lauren. Like, those are the ones that I trust out of the extras. Silas, I really hope you don't break my heart, but I understand if that happens. I have been burned too many times to not suspect everybody. But let me know what you think, what you predict, what's going on in your brain, how are you reacting. Anyways, let me know all that in the comments below. Or leave a moon. Leave me a moon or a sun in the comments if you got this far and you don't really feel like commenting about anything else. Let me know that you were here to the end. And y'all, I will see you next week for our 3rd section of this beautiful book. Alright, see you next time. Bye!